And here again with David Blackwell, he's attorney. He can help sellers and buyers. So now I have question, what's the cost for seller to sell a house in Connecticut?
It's actually a pretty light cost for a seller. Unlike a buyer that has a number of different fees that are imposed by the lending company or by the title searcher, a seller is a set fee, about $700 for the legal fees associated with the cost, including the preparation of the documents as well as going to the closing on your behalf. We also charge, however, a couple of vendor fees. So for instance, we charge $35 to make sure that the mortgage that is on your house absolutely gets released. We hire a company that tracks the mortgage to make sure the release is recorded in the land records. And if it's not released, they'll actually sue your lender for you.
Wow.
And if it's not released within 60 days of sending it to them from us by FedEx, which is going to be another fee, FedEx overnight makes sure that they get it. We have a receipt that they got it, and the vendor sues your lender, and you could actually get up to $5,000. You almost hope they make a mistake, but we never do. So we make sure that the FedEx gets there, we track it, and we make sure the release gets recorded in the land records, because if it doesn't get released, sometimes we end up calling up people years later and saying, remember that house you owned back in 2013, the release never got issued. So,
yeah, you helped me one time with one transaction.
Yeah,
yes.
We've had a number of people who've come in to see us selling a house, and they've refinanced a couple of times and they have no idea that their original mortgage never got released. So I had one gentleman who came in from Tallinn a few years ago. He brought a big stack of papers and he had 4 unreleased mortgages.
Wow.
And he had no idea what they were, but I just went to the papers and I pulled out all the releases. To make sure that very thing doesn't happen, we hire a company to track the release of the mortgage.
Any cost for the seller when they sell?
So the costs are just that, just about $700 for the legal fees, $35 for the tracking of the release, and then a courier fee. Oh, right, there's a state of Connecticut imposes a 1% tax on residential properties. It's called a conveyance tax, and sellers have to pay it. It's 1% of the purchase price.
So if it's $200,000 home, it will be $2,000. So
Yep.
this is like a state tax.
It's a state tax.
And the seller paid in Connecticut?
Yes.
Do you think will be ever for the buyer in the future?
Well, every single year somebody introduces it to the legislature to get the buyers and sellers to pay it, but that's defeated every single year because it's double taxation.
Yes, yeah.
So those are the fees.
Yeah, sometimes it's a lot of money if a property is big.
Yeah, it can be a lot of money. And if it's a residential property in certain communities, such as Hartford, New Britain, Waterbury, the cities, they charge an extra 0.25%.
Yes, yep. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.